Brilliant!
Here's our UZ of the week. Paul, thank you for bringing your absolutely gorgeous Nash.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, here is your unique trophy for unique car. How cool is this? Pontiac time and gear, crank gear, Stromberg body. This is a broken up Volkswagen tranny with its synchro, and of course you got your Stuart Warner kit. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This is a 1953 Nash Rambler AirFlyte convertible.
Folks, this is that Nash AirFlyte Rambler you've been hearing about. America's first really sensible, rattle-proof convertible. It's something absolutely new, with features you've just got to see for yourself.
I got it in 2010. It was just a shell of a car, rusted, bad. A lot of people had tried to restore it and build a hot rod out of it, but didn't have much success, so they abandoned it. So about 6 people made attempts to build hot rods before I got it. And then I got it, made my first attempt, failed miserably, ended up cutting the frame out that I tried to put under it and had to start over again. And second attempt, frame didn't fit, so I ended up making my own frame. And I did my own suspension. So I used a triangulated 4-link rear suspension with a Boss 429 rear end, 31 spline, 9-inch with 350 gearing, posi. And then I went 2x4 box tubing up, and I went 727 torque flight with a 440 Magnum for the engine, and big valve heads, cam, the whole works. And then Mustang 2 front end with power assisted rack and pinion steering, and QA1 coilovers to get it to handle. And then we did all the work in my garage and painted it in my driveway, and we did everything ourselves. Didn't send it to a shop until the very end, and that was just to make sure that I didn't screw something up. Check my work. Yeah. And I ended up helping him do some things. I had some suspension off about a 1/2 inch, and then the day after we finished it, we drove it 1,500 miles to Street Rider magazine on a road tour to SEMA. And then we were special guests at SEMA and part of the parade at the end. But the first 4 days, I went from point A to point B and broke. Like, seriously broke. Power steering pump, coilovers. I was doing 80 on Route 66 and heading towards Vegas out of Lake Havasu and hit a pothole. Bent the rim and my coilovers collapsed. So I went, and my wife had fallen asleep. It was hot day, about 90-something degrees, and my wife wakes up, "What happened?" I go, "I thought about it for a second." I'm like, "Nothing, we're fine." And I kept driving it all the way to Vegas with a bent rim and collapsed coilovers. And we kind of drug it into the parking garage at the hotel there, and I got underneath it and fixed it. And it was, most of the trip was like that.
Say, look at that. That's America's first sensible convertible. It's that new Nash AirFlyte Rambler convertible with a push-button top that glides on girder-strong overhead safety rails and can't rattle. It's the lowest priced 5-passenger convertible on the market. See the Rambler at your Nash dealers now.
Less than 50 of them left when I bought it. At this point right now, we're thinking less than 25 convertibles, between 53 and 54. 50 to 52, there's larger production quantities, but originally 53, they only made about 3,000 cars, and in 54, they made about 200. They were just leftovers from the 53 run. So there's not many of these left at all. Only one like it. There's not another one like this. I built it, actually set it up for a 426 Hemi, and then when I went to buy the Hemi, I'm like, they cost how much? And then I said, all right, well, what fits? And it looks like the 440 had the same basic RB block, so I was able to use everything I had set up for the 426 for the 440 and put it in there. But I had a hard time getting the motor to fit. I ended up having to use an oil pan out of a dump truck to get it to fit. So my dipstick's about 3 feet long. I am now. I wasn't originally. I was, I started off a Chevy guy, and then I started doing Fords. I've got a '49 Ford Woody, hot rodded, and then it's taken so long. I ended up doing a bunch of other things, and this came around, and I ended up doing this. I bring Sunny everywhere I go. She's my my co-pilot. I've been wrenching on cars since I was 9 years old. I did my first restoration. I was 12, and with some help of friends and neighbors and stuff, and then I just got into it. So all through high school, I did street racing and all the crazy stuff that kids do, and I've been a car guy since I was a kid. But I do the work myself. I don't just send it to a shop. I do the welding and the cutting and the fabricating and the engines and the trans. All that I do myself. I get a kick out of it. You gotta exercise your cars. If you let them sit in the garage, they start breaking on you. Things start leaking just from sitting. And so I make sure that thing goes out at least a couple times a month. But just a hoot to drive. Turned out to be the right car for us. We just love it. My wife and I think it's the coolest thing ever. So
it's unique.
Thank you.